What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? How y'all doing? I hope everybody day going well. Because like in my opinion, if everybody positive and stuff like that, then everybody able to that everybody able to be a real positive mindset. Then your environment be positive. Then you don't got to be negative towards nobody. I think in my opinion and stuff like that. In my opinion, though, you don't get to be negative towards nobody. You just be positive to people. Don't try to start beefs and stuff like that. Like I think, in my opinion, uh, like people shouldn't be doing Be- because, like in my opinion, and stuff like that. Like when everybody be positive, when everybody positive, everything like that. When everybody is positive, then everybody is able to have good day, good friend, no beef, positive environment, and that's just my opinion about it. Because like for me, when everybody is positive, like I think in my opinion, when everybody is positive, then you are able to do your own thing. I think in my opinion, when everybody able to be positive, because like for me, in my opinion, like when you positive everything like that, when you're positive, just like everybody else, get positive environment, bring positive people, and that is my opinion on that. Because like in my opinion, when everybody's able, in my opinion, not to be just a negative downer. I think, in my opinion, and that is my opinion about that. Because like everybody is different. Everybody different, in my opinion. That because like in my opinion, when everybody able, in my opinion, to be positive, a positive, a real positive force. I think, in my opinion, that everybody, in my opinion, is able to have a nice positive day, which I think, in my opinion. So just like for me, in my opinion, stuff like Netflix stuff. Some Netflix stuff is good, some be bad, but everybody different in their own way. Because like everybody is different. Because like some people think that it's bad, some people think it's good. But the thing about it, like in my opinion, this just me. This just me, in my opinion, right? It's like when everybody's able to be a real positive force, I think, in my opinion, a real positive force, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing there for a lot of people. Because like for me, like for me and other people and stuff like that, like I think that's actually a good thing. I I think it's actually a good thing and stuff like that. That everybody's different online because everybody's different and everybody not the same. Then everybody is able to get different points of views. Oh, or what's up, Philip? Oh, you doing good? Be oh yeah, that my day was good so far. My day real good so far. I just overslept a little bit, but it was good a little bit though too. And Philip, if you want to come in, I got the link in the chat. That because some Power Ranger news came out lately too. If you heard about it, there was some Power Ranger news came out lately. If you want to pop in and talk about it, or talk about the Hawkeye show or anything else, if you got questions to ask me, then you could type it down below. You got a question to ask me, anything like that. because like for me, in my opinion, which I think that everybody is different in their own way, which I think in my opinion is actually a good thing. Sounds like for me, it sounds like when everybody's opinion is different, then you was able to get. Oh yeah, because the Hawkeye stuff won't be that long, but I would tell the Spider-Man news too as well. That if you heard about the Power Rangers stuff and anything like that, the Power Rangers stuff is pretty good too. The Power Rangers news is pretty good too. It came out. If you got questions about that, the Power Rangers stuff, anything else? Because like for me, in my other opinion, which I think that what everybody think. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't like YouTube removing the dislike button. That because like it seems like YouTube took the easy way out instead of them finding another way, because which I think is not a, is not a good thing. Because like just for a trailer is bad at everything else like that, and plus you dislike it, then you can't really how can I say, you you can't really improve unless you still can see it just from your end. But for me, that was actually a bad thing, which I think, in my opinion, of YouTube removing just the dislike button. Because think about it, removing the dislike button still won't stop the trolls from trolling your channel, because that's what they sure they're still gonna do it, in my opinion, because if you're still gonna troll your channel, whether you like it or not, and that what everybody still don't get, because that's what the people still gonna troll your channel in every way possible, in my opinion. And plus, removing the dislike button was not a good thing, which I think, in my opinion, wasn't, and that wasn't a good thing, which I think, in my opinion, wasn't, in my opinion. But yeah, yeah, and that's kind of bad and a good thing, because like you should give people a choice if they want to do it. In my opinion, give them a choice if they want to remove the dislike button. Just don't just don't remove it just for everybody. Give everybody a choice within the option buttons and stuff like that. If they want to like remove the dislike button, if you gotta look at and that's kind of like bad and good and remove the dislike button, because like people who don't like seeing the dislike buttons on their channel, they can just remove it by choice if they want to, in my opinion, and that's better for them if they want to do it. But don't do it for everybody, which I think is a bad thing. And that's kind of the bad thing, I think, in my opinion, what they did. They kind of removed it for everybody, which was good and bad at the same time, but the thing about, I still didn't like it. That and kind of like the Hawkeye show, if you look at it, it's kind of like a two-person show. It's not really a Hawkeye show by itself. And kind of like oh no, I get to later. But the thing about, they got Spider-Man news. How I talk about, I'm talking about Spider-Man news. I'm gonna talk about how I do the Power Rangers universe since Netflix taking over. How will I do it? Because you know that everybody stuff is gonna be different. Because like in my opinion, everybody's different. Different universe to deal with the Marvel universe. The Marvel universe might be good or bad overall going forward. Because like for me, it could be a good or bad thing. But the thing about Marvel is like you don't really know. which way it's going. Because like one movie good storytelling, but next movie bad, and up in the sense, in my opinion. Because like in my opinion and stuff like that, like the Marvel universe could be in trouble. The Marvel universe could be good going forward. But in my opinion, dealing with the Marvel, DC, and other companies coming up with superhero stuff, it sounds like the live action. Sound like the Netflix having live action Gundam coming out, which is really good. And plus the one show for Netflix that coming out and might be coming out soon. I worry about is just the Avatar: The Last Airbender, because we all know that that the original creators had left the show, and for this say that Netflix didn't want them to do the own thing, and that was kind of the bad thing in my opinion. But also in my opinion, that could be a bad thing on Netflix part, which I think in my opinion would also be a bad thing. And kind of like and this is the part with the Hawkeye review I might be putting on there. Because thing about it that I look at episode 1, 2, and 3 of Hawkeye. It's not a bad show, but let me type in Hawkeye review. Yep, right there. Hawkeye review. And let me put the picture right here. This is the Hawkeye review right there. That was actually, yep, this actually the show. And kind of like from my opinion, right? Based on let us go by the cast that's on the show. Jeremy Renner, he doing good in the show. I like him. I like him in the show. He's actually he's not actually bad in the show, so like some people think. In my opinion, he's actually good on the show. He's not bad. But if y'all got any questions about what I think of the show, everything like that, then y'all can type it down below. Because how like in episode 1, it was kind of slow, but but it was kind of good. It was kind of slow but good at the same time. If y'all know what I mean by that, because we all know like based on Marvel stuff, with Marvel do everything like that. Sound like the first episode of Marvel always seemed to be the slowest one, unless it was the the only just the only episode one that wasn't slow was Falcon was the one. So that's the only episode one that wasn't slow at the beginning. But then but like episode 1, it seems like the story didn't get going until towards the middle end. Seemed like in episode 1, but episode 1 was good, and so it was actually better than One Division episode 1. I give it that. It's better. It's better than One Division episode 1. That's all I got to say. Because episode 1 at Hawkeye did not hardly waste time. Something like that. Kind of like story was kind of layout. If you look at it, because the story was something like layout for about 2 people, I think. And Hawkeye shows 2 person show. It's not about it's not about Jeremy Renner Hawkeye. It's about both of them, in my opinion. And that kind of bad and a good thing at the same time. That's kind of bad and good at the same time. Because think about it, when they saying Hawkeye, I thought it would have been about in my opinion, it would have been about Dan Maroon Hawkeye. But I know since this show came out, it's like it seems like they passed down or torch onto Haley Steinfeld. I like her. She actually a good Hawkeye in my opinion. She actually a good one. Because like in my opinion and stuff like that. Because kind of like in my opinion, like everybody is different. Everybody different in my opinion, everything like that. Sound like doing the Hawkeye show. And plus, I was kind of disappointed at first when the show wasn't about Hawkeye because we know that Hawkeye got a pass on him. Um, be, because we know we saw Hawkeye killing people, just killing everybody. It just was killing. He just was killing everybody on the up in Finger up in Fincher in game. He was killing everybody on that. He was killing everybody up in Japan. I think Tokyo, one of them. And that's kind of thing that I don't get is say you set up Hawkeye to be Ronin, but you don't continue it in the show, which don't make no sense in my opinion. But everybody different though. But everybody different though. Everybody is different, and that kind of bad and good at the same time. Oh, sure, yeah. Because like in my opinion, based on the show that I've been seeing, like kind of like the show that I've been seeing, the show was actually pretty good on episode one. But episode two, you could kind of figure that the story for episode one kind of flows together, and that's a good thing in my opinion. And that's kind of the good thing in my opinion. It kind of flows together because it seemed like in one division, it kind of didn't flow together. I think in my opinion, but everybody different. Everybody is different because like when you see that just me in my opinion what I feel like. And that just me. If y'all got a question about if y'all got a question about the Hawkeye show, y'all want me to answer, then I would. If y'all got a question about it. Because like for me and stuff like that, like if y'all got a question about that, what I think of certain shows on Marvel and anything like that, then y'all could. If y'all want me to answer it, then I could do that. And that just me in my opinion. If y'all got any questions about it, because like when you look at the Hawkeye episode, start like Hawkeye episode one and two, right? Some of the choreography, which I think in the show is good. I like the choreography in the show. The fight choreography is good in it, and some of this and some of the stuff for the show is actually believable, in my opinion. It's actually believable. M- But in my other opinion, which I think, in my opinion, is like for my other opinion, which I think that some of the Hawkeye show, which I think in my opinion pretty much could be a good or bad thing in my opinion. And that's just me in my opinion. That just me because that's what if you look at it, like if you look at the Hawkeye show as a whole, it kind of feels like the show a Kate Bishop, I think, coming around, which I think, in my opinion, is kind of it's kind of disrespectful to the character. I think, in my opinion, and that kind of disrespectful, in my opinion, because you cannot be having a because you cannot be having like a character show named Hawkeye, but you don't even try. I know like that in my opinion, but you don't even try in my opinion. Just try to do Hawkeye story. If you look at it, because that's what if you look at it, and that's kind of bad and good at the same time. It's kind of bad and good at the same time. And it's kind of like the bad of it is like and kind of like the bad thing, kind of bad at the good at the same time. The on the bad of it is like the on the show only like concentrate on Kate Bishop. That's kind of bad of it. But the good of it is like the story flows together, and plus and and plus you won't be lost. Just looking at it. Yeah, if y'all know what I mean by that, because you would not be lost looking at the story. If y'all want to come in, that's the link. Because like for me, in my opinion, which I kind of feel like is if y'all want to come in, I got the link in the chat. But it kind of feels like, in my opinion, stuff like that. Yeah. Plus, I kind of feel like most people I feel like disrespects Hawkeye, which I think, in my opinion, is a bad thing. Because you look at Hawkeye is actually a really good character in the comic books. He's actually a good character in the comic books. He got some good stories. But it seems like they're not doing Hawkeye stories. It seems like they're doing because it seems like they're doing the Kate Bishop Hawkeye story instead of his. If you look at it, you look at the show all around, which I think, in my opinion, and that's kind of bad and the good of it. Because then, but the Kate Bishop show is actually good. The Kate Bishop show is actually good. Everything else like that. And plus, I like, in my opinion, that the Kate Bishop character is not perfect at everything, which I do like, in my opinion. Some people might not like it, some people do. But the thing about my opinion is like I seem like, in my opinion, it's like everybody won't be perfect. And that is the journey of being a hero, which I think, in my opinion, what it should be. Because you know that all heroes not perfect. Like heroes do mess up every once in a while, which I think, in my opinion, they do. and that's kind of like the bad and good in between, which I think, in my opinion, could be good, bad, everything in between. And for the kind of feels like, in my opinion, it kind of feels like, in my opinion, like this Hawkeye show so far, I give it a B minus. Yeah, because the thing about it, ever since the WandaVision show, I was expecting bad Marvel shows. So like Falcon plus the Winter Soldier just had replaced some let me see, the Falcon for the Winter Soldier, I think, is the best show so far. It's number one. And this Hawkeye a Loki show is two or three. Yeah, that's the thing. And plus we still got Miss Marvel coming out. We still got no no because I can't count the Spider-Man movies, because the Spider-Man movies is not really shows, it's just movies. Because we do my movies, like the best movie is still the Captain America 2 and 3. The first one was cool, but the movie was not like top five, which I think, in my opinion, the first one. It could be like top 10, top 15, I think. Top 10, top 15, I think. Because it kind of figures, in my opinion, something like every everybody just be different, which I think, in my opinion, everybody be different. Because look at it, the Falcon and Winter Soldier had more, how can I say, it had more stakes inside the show. Because that's what because you look at it, it wasn't all jokes. And that is my opinion, because that's what it wasn't all jokes or anything like that. Because it wasn't all jokes that everybody claimed to be. Can you look at it? The Falcon, the Hawkeye show, seems to me had more snakes than the one of it. Um, the WandaVision show didn't show it much stakes in it. So you look at it, it seemed like the WandaVision show just went a sitcom, and this show seemed like more grounded down to earth. Seemed like they didn't put a lot of budget behind it, like they WandaVision, because you pretty much could tell the difference between WandaVision budget and this budget. Because this show budget seems like it's more. How can I say this? It is more. It show more stakes and for the show more consequences. I think on this show than WandaVision. Because if y'all got any questions to ask me, then y'all could type the questions down below. If y'all got any questions to ask me, because like episode one, I give it a C plus. Episode two was a B, and episode three was a B minus, because it keep on built. Episode one was good. Episode two was better than one. Episode three was a little bit better than two, and that's kind of like my opinion of it. Because that's y'all opinion or not. It's up to y'all to choose for yourself. Which show y'all like better. Because like, in my opinion, I actually like. Because I actually like, in my opinion. I actually like, in my opinion, certain stuff. Like, I think, in my opinion. Because think about it, if you look at it, because like in my opinion, because like in my opinion, like everybody's opinion seem to be everybody think WandaVision is the best show on Disney Plus, but it's not. But this show might become for the best show on Disney Plus if they can actually keep the stakes high and the story stuff on point. Because like episode one was actually good. I like that. Episode one was actually good. Episode now because look at episode one seemed like it been about how Haley Steinfeld is like I like her as an actress, but then in my opinion it's like but I wanted to learn I wanted to learn about in my opinion I wanted to learn about more about Hawkeye, more about his background, more about what he was doing in Tokyo, more about the time he was running. Because like in my opinion and stuff like that, it's like everybody is different up in their own way. Because like for me and so like for me in my opinion, right? In my opinion, sound like everybody everybody's different, which I think that that is good to have a good different opinion, and that just me because you look at it when everybody's different. Because like for everybody just don't get it. Sound like with everybody like when every like when everybody's able to get their own point, which I think in my opinion, like when everybody actually be good, which I think in my opinion could be a good or a bad thing. But the thing about me and right, what I do like and don't like is like I actually like the way that this I like the way the camera work was um like doing the chase scene like episode three and like doing the action scenes, sound the action choreography, that the action choreography doing the series so far. Because you look at some of the action choreography scene, like it's actually good. It's actually a good thing, which I think, in my opinion, the action choreography could be good, and that just me, in my opinion, about that. And kind of like for me now, kind of like for me, in my opinion, right, and stuff like that, what I feel like. I kind of feel like when people, like in my opinion, people in my opinion is able to give their opinions and stuff like that, and able to be good. That's kind of a bad thing. That's kind of the bad thing in my opinion. Kind of bad and good, but just in my opinion, and stuff like that, and kind of other opinions. If y'all have other opinions about the Hawkeye show, y'all can put it down below. But my opinion about the Hawkeye show is like I kind of feel like the Hawkeye show I kind of feel like the Hawkeye show has actually been good. It's not a bad show. Y'all should look at it. If y'all gotta ask me, should I look at the Hawkeye show or not? I would say yes. Just give it a chance. If you don't like the first three episodes, then you could, I think, in my opinion, if you want to do it. So something like for me, in my opinion, sound like the Hawkeye show. The Hawkeye show, which I think that if y'all got opinions on the Hawkeye show, what y'all rating for it and stuff like that, because my rating for the Hawkeye show was actually a B minus. The B minus is my rating for the show because some like other people might not. Other people might not like my rating so far for the show, but my rating for the show so far is a B minus because the show is not too kiddie in the show, and but the show actually shows some seriousness. But them villains, how in the world they is not smart villains? Because we all know, right? Dealing with villains and stuff like that. If you trying to be a villain, come on now, come on now, man, y'all gotta be smarter than that. They're not even smart at all. They're smart, but they're not smart at, and that's kind of the bad thing for it. Like I'm dealing with villains and stuff like that. Because like for me, in my opinion, stuff like dealing with villains, everything else like that could be bad, good, everything else like that. And kind of like for me, right, in my opinion, sounds like and kind of like for me and my other opinions and stuff like that, it's like with everybody is different. Everybody's different in their own way. I think, in my opinion, sound like if y'all like it, yeah. If y'all like the Hawkeye show, then y'all can type it down below in the chat, or just after the live stream if y'all like it, what y'all grading for it. Cause my grade is a B minus. But my only problem with the show about it is like when you find out in episode 3 is that no villains actually work for somebody. Then the first episode, no villains that make no sense. It didn't make sense the first episode. That you could look at the first episode, just the Hawkeye show, and you the first song, you don't really know their purpose until you saw them robbing the place and stuff like that. And you, if anybody for Twitch or YouTube, if y'all got questions about, um, if y'all like the Twitch, YouTube, anything like that, if y'all like the show or not like that, because if y'all like it, then y'all can put it down below. If y'all don't like it, and y'all can also do this one. Uh, Um, because like for me, other people and stuff like that, I kind of feel like in other parts, it's like people don't really take stuff seriously, which I think, in my opinion, that people don't, which is a bad and good thing at the same time, because like people got so used to uh, the Disney formula and stuff like that. And that is my opinion about it. It's like we all know, because we all know, like I think with Disney stuff come up, that would be a real bad example, I think, in my opinion. And that is my opinion about that. And plus, in my opinion, based on other people and stuff like that, and but it kind of feels like to me and other people and stuff like that, it kind of feel like to me it's like people, and it kind of feel like Disney don't like to in my opinion, if you look at it, they don't like to take it to a certain place. I think, in my opinion, because of the name branding they got of Disney. But the thing about my opinion is also HBO Max got kids stuff, and they still HBO and stuff like that. and that with Disney just didn't learn. And that is my opinion, stuff like that. That's kind of like my other opinions, which I feel, which you kind of feel like could be good, could be bad, could be in everything in between. And kind of like for me, in my opinion, and stuff like that. Because like for me and stuff like that, it's like if y'all like the show, then y'all can type it in the chat. If you don't like it, if you saw this one episode, two, three, the episode that the episode was actually episode three. Episode three came out yesterday. Was actually the best episode. Just all the three. Till the first one was good for the first episode. The second one was actually pretty good. It was good. It better than the first one. And the third one was pretty good too because you look at the third episode, it was somebody else was the person, and plus I did my research on it, and other people were talking about it. A certain name, that's the person named Echo. I think it's something they say. Because if I'm right or wrong, then yeah, I can put it in the chat. Because the person episode three, that was a Native American, I think that was head over the crew. Because she was trying to figure out who was Ronin, who was Ronin inside the suit, everything like that. Because like for me, that something like for me, in my opinion, I'll probably show you a picture of him. Because shoot, I probably have to show y'all some of the stuff. Let me see, where's that picture at? Because they had a picture of. It was a picture of them too. They had a picture of the girl now playing as the Hawkeye stuff. I mean like Hawkeye villain, and her name was Echo, but I didn't know. Hmm. Hit him in YouTube. I'll be back. I'm back, YouTube. I'm back. And plus for me, right, in my opinion, stuff like that is like um once I get the picture of the person I'm talking about, because some pictures I think don't be as good. Because you look at it, it had a person. It was an Indian girl too. Because if you look at it, now she was actually a really good character in the show too. The Indian girl who plays Echo on the show, because I actually like her too as well. Because if you look at it, because I'll probably show y'all one of the other villains too. I think that's in the show, but they might not show it. Cause you look at it, the Hawkeye show, I think like that might have about two or three villains because that's what if you look at it, it had about two or three villains inside the show. It sounds like people might not like it, but and plus I think the other stuff might be going on, which I think in the show that does the Hawkeye first place Echo that she deaf as well on the show. And but it show her as a child, but it show her as an adult. And and plus she put to have her own show as well, I think, or something like that. Because if you look at like, cause if you look at the actress on the show, stuff like that, and Death Era stuff like that, because I knew it had to be a character from the comic books, but the thing about it, like I didn't know which one it was just until the Great Council longer had said it. They puts me Echo. It it's supposed to be like the Echo thing or something like that. But the thing about it is like for next week episode, like I want to know more about her character and stuff like that. And she gonna be like a way powerful character, I think. Which I think in the future, like in the future and stuff like that, it is like I think her future is real bright, which I think in my opinion. And that is my opinion about it. Be because like for me, I kind of feel like her character Echo, just got a real just got a real good future, and kind of like one of Hawkeye villains, I think, is him, and he is going with Holly Steinfeld mother. But the thing about it is like it's everybody. Oh what's up, NJ? What's up? Yep. Doing this live stream and stuff like that. Like I am giving my prediction and plus my review on it. If you got any predictions, anything like that, then y'all could put it um down in the chat. Because my prediction for the show and stuff like that, which I think right could be good or bad. But my prediction of shows is sound like I think that Holly Stanfield mother might be might be a villain or one of the side villains in the show. Or she might be one innocent person, but I'm not sure about her. The mother, because that's if you look at it, like her mother is kind of too calm. This round stuff, I think, in my opinion, it's kind of could be good or a bad thing, but that's just me, in my opinion, stuff like that. And kind of like for my next prediction for the fourth episode, right? The fourth episode, this is a review slash where I think this might happen next episode, in my opinion. Because that's what if you look at it right in my episode, like I think that that Echo might join Clint Barker and everybody like that, like in the future, which I think in my opinion they might do that. Because I'm a, that just me. It's kind of like the villain of the show, which I see so far is him. Um, he is the villain, and he also going with Holly Steinfeld, Holly Steinfeld mother. That's in the show. Since her father died, everything like that. During the early part of the episode one, he died. Then shooting episode one, that on the uncle died episode 1 or 2, I think, something like that. After he threatened the mother, everything like that. Which it kind of feel like, in my opinion, like everybody's different in their own way, which I think it is. Which I think, in my opinion, could be good, bad, everything in between. And if you look at it different, my opinion, stuff like that, it's like the Hawkeye, because then, but if the Hawkeye show keep on getting better, like in each episode and stuff like that, if the story stay consistent and for the stakes stay high throughout the show, just with a little bit of jokes, then it's cool. And the thing about and one of my gripes is like I wish the show just wasn't just 6 episodes, because like for me, like I would like that on the show to be about 7, 8 episodes, I think, and that would have been better. I think, in my opinion, would have been 7, 8 episodes, which I think, in my opinion, and that is my opinion and stuff like that. Was everybody different, and that is my opinions and stuff like that. Is sound like everybody is different, which I think, in my opinion, sound like everybody different in their own way. Because like for me, right, in my opinions and stuff like that, it's like I think that everybody could be like a real good, like everybody's real good. I think stuff like that, in my opinion. It sounds like everybody different. Everybody, everybody different. Everybody opinions is different, which I think, in my opinion, is a good thing. And kind of like for me, and plus this character right here, it was in episode 3. And her name was Echo, like I was talking about earlier. She's one of the characters, I think, and she could be a character that can make the show better after this episode or make it worse. Because like for me, right, it just depends on how do the show deal with her, just deal with her, in my opinion, just deal with her story in this show. I think, in my opinion, because think about it's 3 more episodes in this, and plus, I think her story might be just a little bit correlated just with Hawkeye's story. Just trying to find out, just with find his suit, and that is my opinion about that. And that just me and my opinion about that. Because like for me and my opinions and stuff like that, it's like we all know, like dealing with the Hawkeye show. This Hawkeye show episode 1 and 2 came out first. Episode 3 was next, and kind of for me, right? I think the fourth episode will be better than the third one, because the fourth episode just would give Hawkeye clues, like why everybody had wanted her. I think something like that. The Ronin character, because she thought that Jeremy Renner was Hawkeye. Hawkeye was the one that killed her father, but it was somebody else. It was the last person I said to, the villain, and that is my opinion about that. If you look at it, my opinion and stuff like that is um because like for me and my opinion and stuff like that, it's like I just know it was a Matrix trailer 2, I think they said. Because like for me and my opinion and stuff like that is like and this is the and kind of like the ending, just to end this segment right here. Like this show is not actually a bad a bad show in my opinion. It's not a bad show in my opinion. But it's actually entertaining, kind of funny at points, and good. And this is the end of this segment right here, or just the Hawkeye show. The Hawkeye show segment. This is the end of this segment. If you got any questions after this, then you just type in the chat. I'll try and answer it as soon as possible. I'll see y'all this segment this end on this one. And kind of like the next thing that I want to do just a big old review on, a short review. It's the He-Man show. Because you see this right here, the He-Man show, which I think, in my opinion, is not actually, which I think is not actually a real bad. It's not a bad show. The story bad. The animation, in my opinion, is the only good thing about this show. Oh, wait a minute. If you look at this show, the storyline do not. Some of the story makes sense, but some of it don't. Because you look at Masters of the Universe. Now, Master of the Universe is He-Man. Because that's what Evil Land should not have been even nowhere near the story. I think it's something like that. In between He-Man and Skeletor, those two should have been the main one fighting, main one just trying to outsmart each other. They win, they don't. But it kind of feels like, in my opinion, it sounds like the show had been more about Tila, in my opinion, because that's what I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Because it kind of feel like, in my opinion, it kind of feel like more like a Tila show than a It kind of feel like a more Tila than a He-Man show, and that's a bad to say, in my opinion, and that's a bad thing in my opinion. That's a real bad thing in my opinion. And that's just my opinion about that. Because shoot, it's kind of like a bad thing in my opinion to have a real bad opinion about something, which is real bad, which I think, in my opinion. And that's kind of like the good and bad when it having a YouTube channel and you trying to get your own opinion out there. Because like it's always gonna be somebody who gonna think that you not doing your part, which I think, in my opinion, was kind of messed up. With with it kind of with it kind of like a bad messed up thing. I think, in my opinion, stuff like that. It's kind of bad and messed up and everything between. Be Because like, for me, in my opinion, dealing with the He-Man show, I tried giving, because it kind of give me a boost at the time. Because the He-Man show is actually good. It's not a bad show and stuff. It's not like, it's kind of, the only thing good about it is the action and the animation. Those are two good things about it. Because like some of the story don't make sense, in my opinion. Because that's what I do. I do not want to hear from you talking some. This do make sense. It don't, because we all know up in here now. We all know how just how long Skeletor had wanted that power of just a Grayskull, because we all know that Skeletor would not have got tricked by no evil land session. We all know this. But the show made it seem like that Skeletor was a dumb leader, and plus we all know that Skeletor is not a dumb leader. in my opinion, because we all know Skeletor is not dumb. We all know this. We all know Skeletor is not a dumb leader in this, but they made him dumb anyway, which I think, in my opinion, is a bad thing. And that's kind of a bad thing, in my opinion, to make it it to make Skeletor lose his power because of evil land sexual advances and stuff like that. And she stole a sword and stuff like that. And how she looked, um, let me show you how she looked after she transformed. Instead of her keeping her skinny look and stuff like that, that she looked like this. Um, because I don't get what with the haircut stuff and all that. What with the haircuts? What with the haircut stuff? I think, in my opinion, which is kind of like the bad thing about it, be because like for me, right? What with the haircut stuff? Be because I kind of feel like every time female with muscle transform, she got to cut her hair. She got to look like a man. Everything like that. Seem like um, they should at least make her muscles a little bit smaller, a little bit skinnier and stuff like that. She could keep her muscles in the stomach. I think she could keep her muscles, everything like that, like in the stomach, like abs and stuff like that. But I make that a little bit smaller as well. But it kind of feel like that they want to keep their own thing going. Seem like to me, in my opinion, they want to do their own thing. But the thing about it, this this show is not, it's not better than the shown the sevens than was story wise. It don't. And plus and plus not better than the story in 2002. It's not better than that one. Because people, in my opinion, bad not trying to say that this story is better than the other, because this story is not better than, in my opinion, it's not better than 202 He-Man. It's not. It, and it sounds like people probably trying to argue and stuff like that, but that's what. That's what. If y'all can like it, and plus, I'll actually respect y'all opinion of y'all liking the He-Man storyline, the new start Master Universe. It's a bad, it's a bad fun show to look at. It's a fun show to look at, but it's not like a real how can I say this? It's not like a good show. It could transform from 2 to this one, because it seems like storylines different, characters, everything else now changed, everything like that. I say, God, dog. Because said you could at least kept somebody, everything like that nice. But it kind of feel like they didn't. And that's just my opinion about that, which is kind of like the bad thing about it. Which kind of the bad thing about it, which I like, don't like, but everybody's different though. Everybody's different in their own way, which I think, in my opinion, is a good thing. Sound like storytelling deal with shows, movies, everything is different. I like that. But this show right here, if you look at the trailer, if you look at the He-Man trailer compared to the show, it is nowhere like that whole lot of He-Man puts in. Because if you look at the He-Man show trailer, it's like you would think that He-Man would have got his powers, everything like that, and was controlling it by the first or second episode. Nope, nope. They got all the action was in the trailer is near the end of the season. It is near the end of the season. It sounds like people, in my opinion, could say it's a good. It's it's not a bad show, but the show, in my opinion, is not. Which I think, in my opinion, is not bad. It's not bad as the worst show. It's not the worst show, but it's not good for like a He-Man show. Something like storyline continue and stuff like that. If y'all know what I mean, it's not really. And that just me, in my opinion about that, it's not really the bad show. I think in my opinion, it's not really being bad, but it kind of feel like to me it's like other people don't like the show because of reasons. And that's kind of like the bad and good at the same time, in my opinion. It sounds like everybody is different. Everybody different in their own way, which I think, in my opinion, could be bad, good, everything in between. And it could be bad, everything in between, which I think, in my opinion, because it kind of feels like to me, in my opinion, dealing with shows, movies, and everything in between. And they kind of feel like to me, in my opinion, sound like the He-Man show itself. The animation person was good. The person who did the choreography was actually good, in my opinion. It's like I actually like the storylines. Some of the storylines wasn't a show, but the ending. But some of these villain plans suck because we all know dealing with the He-Man stuff, which I think, in my opinion, it and it kind of feels like to me, in my opinion, dealing with the He-Man stuff. There's like Lynn. How could you try to destroy the whole universe and you in the universe, which don't make no sense? It, uh, uh, it makes no sense in my opinion. It makes no sense. Because like for me, right? If you want to rule the universe, they rule the universe. They don't be dumb and say that you want to destroy the whole other universes because you, which I think, in my opinion, could be a bad or a good thing. That actually was a bad plan for her. Because think about it, if you wanted to rule the universe, that wouldn't you try to put up a spell or something like that for you to try to put down the universe? I think in my opinion, try to try to do it, in my opinion. Just try to just try to put your own on just try to make your own world and you go to that universe. In my opinion, could actually be a good thing. If you can actually be like a real good universe and building and everything else like that. It's like everybody is different. Which it kind of feels like to me, in my opinion, is different. Yeah, it kind of like if y'all got a problem with the He-Man show, you got a question about the He-Man show. If you like the He-Man show, everything like that, it, y'all want to ask me what I like about it, then like about it, and y'all what y'all like about it, in y'all opinion, what y'all didn't like about it. Because like for me, because it kind of feel like to me now the person who made the He-Man show did not the bill producer that did not care about continuity. Seem like to me they didn't care about it, and that's kind of the bad thing about it because we all know dealing with continuity, dealing with shows for 5 years before you start doing stuff. I think some of that is really could be good, bad, everything in between. Because we all know, right? Dealing with shows, if you want to continue a show and stuff like that, it's like you should try to, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. Yeah, I can agree and I agree with it. Just try to go back, look at the last series, see what those character arcs had lead out to, then you try to build on it, like on the next, like on the new show. If you go by the old one, the old He-Man, then you look at that series and just see how them characters lead off. If you look at the 2002 one and you try to make for the new one, then you try to make one of the shows for that. I think, in my opinion, which could be a real good or bad thing in between, which I think could be good or a bad thing. But the thing is, right, it just depends on how you look at it, in my opinion. Something like everybody different in their own way, and that just me. That just me. That just me, in my opinion, what I think about it. Because think about, if you look at it, dealing with the He-Man show, just how Kevin Smith lied by the trailer again. That you could look at the trailer, you would think it'd be by He-Man and Skeletor. I think sound like the main two, and everybody else come behind. I think something like that, which could be good or bad thing. But everybody different though. Everybody different in their own way, which I think, in my opinion, could be good or bad. But the thing by my opinion, it's not like other people might not like, which I think, in my opinion, could be good, bad, everything in between. Which I think, if people want different opinions, then that's a good thing. Which I think could be good or bad, but then depends on it depends on the person. Depends on the person and on the taste of shows. I think, or something like that could be a good or bad thing, but it just depends though. And that is kind of like the real bad. And kind of like the bad thing, which I think, in my opinion, right, if they want a different opinion, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing or a bad thing. But the thing about it, but is is um everybody, I think, in my opinion, could be like a real could it could have been better. The He-Man show could have been better, I think, in my opinion. Sound like everybody different. The He-Man show could have been better in part one and two, because it if they would say it been by Tila, then people wouldn't be as mad, because people wouldn't be going into the show expect a different show. Sound like everybody different, in my opinion, and it sound like, in my opinion, right? It's different. Everybody different, everything like that. It's up to y'all. It's up to y'all. It's up to y'all if y'all like it or not. And that just me. That just me and my take on the He-Man show. The He-Man show, I give it a C minus. It's a C. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. I give it a C plus, because the animation was good and the fights was good in the show. That's the only reason why I give it a C plus. This is the ending for this review. For this right here. This is the end of this right here. And this is all I gotta say about the show. The show is average. It's not about He-Man, it's about Tila and everybody else seeing like more than He-Man. That's kind of the bad thing. But the end of fights was good, and that's it. And kind of like the next thing that I want to talk about is, like, I want to talk about the Power Ranger universe. That's gonna be short. The thing, if you look at it, the they supposed to be bringing back the Power Ranger universe inside the show. Just think about it, if they gotta bring back the Power Rangers universe, everything like that, then that's what I'm gonna like it. Because like we all know deal with the Power Rangers universe, which I think, in my opinion, it's one it could be a good universe that can compete with Marvel, which I think, in my opinion, if Netflix actually do it right and don't be cheap on the money and anything like that, because we all know, right, that if you want to make a good Power Rangers universe stuff, it's like you cannot be cheap with it. You cannot be cheap with the Power Rangers stuff. Sound like a Nickelodeon is for kids. We understand that, but if you're doing a movie and shows and stuff like that, it's like we all know. We all know this. We all know this. It sounds like people might not want to admit it, but they know. We all know, though. In my opinion, it sounds like if they do the Power Rangers universe, like the first movie should be about the first movie the first movie, and my point should be about, let me see, it should be about the first five Rangers coming together. It should be on the first five coming together. I think, in my opinion, the first five. Then they do a part two. It should be about the Power Rangers fighting the Green Ranger and just try to bring the Green Ranger onto their side. I think, in my opinion, that could be a good thing. Which I think, in my opinion, is actually a good thing. And it sounds like other people probably could say it's a good or bad thing. But in my opinion, if they could do like the Power Ranger universe, and in my opinion, it could be a good thing. If they could actually bring stakes, a little bit of jokes to it, just try to just, just try to do a story, everything like that, then everything will be good. I think, in my opinion, if they can actually bring story, stakes, and make sure that the graphics and CGI is actually good too. Make sure the CGI is actually decent, because we all know that with CGI, everything like that, is that we can also tell when the universe, everything like that, when the people actually care about the product, it seems like to me too, because you can actually tell when it is, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good or bad thing. And that's just me, in my opinion, about that. Is and, and kind of like for me, in my opinions and stuff like that, is like when everybody, if everybody opinions is if everybody opinion is the same, I think it's on that in the Power Rangers universe, is like Power Ranger fans is happy like me, because like for me, I'm actually a Power Ranger fan. I kind of like the show in the lore of it too. If you look at the lore of the Power Ranger stuff, the lore of the Power Ranger stuff is actually pretty good, in my opinion. The lore of Power Rangers is actually pretty good. If you look at the lore altogether, what you think, everything like that could be good, could be bad, but and kind of like for me, in my opinion. Oh, hush up, Jason. If you want to come in, I got the link in the chat. If y'all want to come in, what's up? If you want to come in, I got the link in the chat. Have me put it down in the chat again to make sure. Okay. Because like for me, right, and stuff like that, what I kind of like, and kind of like for me, in my opinions and stuff like that, is like the like in my opinion, it's like deal with the part of the universe, what I know about it and stuff like that, and dealing with the show. The part of the show it's not it's not a bad show, I think, but I think if it was more dope, then more people probably would get into it. And, because you look at the part of the show, it could be something like Hawkeye show, I think, and that would be a good thing if they make like if they're making a universe of it, if they're making universal animation, like I will make the animation just for the kids and teenagers, and make the live action for about adults. I think, in my opinion, and that would have been better. That'd be good and better, I think, in my opinion. If you make it, and that is kind of like my opinion of it, be, because I kind of feel like some people don't want to let go of the past, but for me, I am willing to let go of past stuff if we get better stuff for the future. I think for me that would be a good thing, and that's kind of like my opinion of it because like the Prime universe is actually pretty good, and that would have been my thing on it. And plus, I will be going back to the Prime universe thing a little bit later in the stream, but my next thing I was going to talk about is Spider-Man because they said they had Spider-Man news, something like that. It was Spider-Man news, I think. It was the three more trilogy movie thing I was finna talk about. Because like the Spider-Man, I think in my opinion, right, if they're doing the Spider-Man trilogy, what's up? What's up, Jason? That how would you that sound like the Spider-Man trilogy? Like I do think the new trilogy might be about Tom. I think the three more movies. Because,
Hey, brother, what's going on? I just got on.
oh much that because you got any question to ask me about the Hawkeye show, anything like that?
I hadn't seen the third episode yet. I've seen the first two. I hadn't seen the third. I gotta watch. I was gonna watch it tonight, but I just ain't
Yeah,
had time. I have to check it out tomorrow morning before I go to work.
yeah, because the third episode is better than the second one though.
That's what I heard. I heard it was had a lot of action, and that's what a couple
Yeah,
people was telling me. Danny and all them saying that it was really good.
yeah, yeah. Because the first two episodes seemed like it was building episodes. I think it
Hmm.
was building the world of Hawkeye and stuff like that. But the first two episodes seemed like it more been about styling Stanley Haley Steinfeld character more than
Hmm.
Hawkeye, and that's kind of thing I don't like because that's what the show named Hawkeye.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be about both of them and not just be about one. Because it seemed like it been more about um it kind of seemed like it been more about, in my opinion, Holly Steinfeld character. It sounded like the He-Man show, the new one.
Oh
It
yeah.
it it, it been more about the first two episodes. It been more about Tila than He-Man. I
Oh
say,
okay.
and that's kind of thing I don't like because that's what the Jeremy Renner been there longer.
Yeah.
And
Well,
plus the show,
I heard the kingpins pot. They show something with the kingpin. That's what somebody was saying. They show a figure in the background looks like the kingpin, possibly.
yeah. But the thing about it is like I'm not sure if Disney willing to take it there though, and that's my problem with it. Because we all know, like, there been some movies and shows that Disney probably should have taken there, but they didn't.
Yeah.
That because you look at Doctor Strange movie, the first one,
Yeah.
Doctor the animated on Doctor Strange went head up. This with Dormammu in
Hmm.
the movie, up in the animated movie, but up in the live action, he just used the time stone. I say
Yeah.
Um, just copy the fight that was in the anime movie, and it's put in live action.
No, exactly. Well, it's like that Daredevil series on Netflix. You'll never see that on Disney Plus, something like that.
Oh no!
I mean, I wish they'd get more. I wish they'd get more, darker and grittier, sort of like DC does that. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
only thing good about DC. It ain't.
yeah,
I mean, it's hard to do certain characters. I know they're trying to do it for the kid, diagram, their fan base, but it's hard. Certain characters, it's hard to
no, like
PG-13. It's like Deadpool. Deadpool, I
yeah,
watched. They did Deadpool 2. Well, the first one was better, but Deadpool 2. And then they
yeah,
tried to do that right before Disney bought them. They tried to do that Christmas Deadpool thing. Pretty much it was Deadpool 2, but they just took all any
yeah,
cursing or violence out. And then they added some little, Christmas scene in there with the Ben Savage and all that. And
yeah,
that movie was such trash. I mean, it made me hate. It made me not want to watch Deadpool 2 again because the
yeah,
way they edited it, it just was like, oh my god! Do not tell me when Disney takes over Deadpool, Deadpool 3 is gonna be like this. It's just that character you cannot. You cannot. I guess you could, but you're gonna have to reboot it or something because
yeah.
after watching the first two Deadpools, you cannot make that a PG-13 type of show. I mean, it's a grittier
Yeah,
character. He's violent. He
yeah,
throws knives. He shoots people. He shoots them in the head. I mean, it's
yeah.
not.
He shoots people in the head and make jokes.
Yeah, and I know some stuff is a little, maybe a little controversial, and but
Yeah,
that's his character. He's not he's not a peaceful, he's not a Captain America. He's not, he's not a, trying to think somebody or Iron Man. He's not that type
yeah,
of character. Well, actually, Iron Man is if they actually would really actually do Iron Man the correct way. Iron Man is a darker character because he's an alcoholic. He's if you ever
yeah,
yeah, and they really yes, I noticed Disney Marvel sort of went away from that. I mean, they showed a little bit, but he was an outright drunk and alcoholic. If you ever read the comics, so.
Because he used to curse at people while he was drunk.
Curse, alcohol. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I can understand they're trying to do a family, but sometimes you can't be.
Yeah.
It's sort of like this Batman. I like this Batman coming up. This new Batman looks gritty, dark, and it looks rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like the Michael Keaton. I like the Michael Keaton Batman, but the Michael Keaton Batman was I would say a friendly. It was a friendly PG. Hey, take the kids to the movie theater. Batman. I mean, they should, wasn't that violent. I mean, the Joker might have a little bit in Penguin, but it wasn't. So this one looks pretty like. This looks like you're looking like Batman versus the guy from Saw. I mean, it looks pretty kind of rough, and I'm excited because I want to see that. I want to see something different.
Yeah. Because we all know this Batman movie might. It can make about $1 billion just because of the name Batman.
Oh, exactly.
It make $1 billion because we know Spider-Man probably make $1 billion. And this movie that's halfway decent. This movie,
even if it doesn't, hey, if it makes 700, hey, that's still good with the pandemic and all that. But it's got me intrigued. It's a different take on Batman that we have not gotten. I mean, we get it in the cartoons more than we get it in the live action. That's something we haven't seen in live action. Even The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was, they could say, oh, it was great at points, maybe the Joker and a few maybe Bane. But, Batman himself wasn't looked like a grittier, dark image, rough cut Batman. This one looks, unless I'm wrong, what we saw, it looked like a horror movie in Batman in it. I mean, it sort of. It got me. The other one looks more the action
because we know that
friendly Batman's.
Yeah, because we know the Batman movies is willing to take it just with the right director.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anything bad about some of the past Batman. I like some of the past Batman movies. But we've already been. This is like going on the fifth reboot of Batman. So let's try something like they're doing. Like, hopefully, let's try something different. I mean, I was a little worrisome with the actor playing Batman, but after I saw the trailer, I was like, that looks pretty damn good. I mean, I really looking forward to that movie. That's one of my that's probably one of my top movies I want to see next year. I definitely, like I said, I'm very picky of what right now we know when it closes the theater in town. So if I got to travel 60 miles, that's a movie I'll travel to go see. I really want to see it. Me, that's definitely Spider-Man. I'm definitely going to see. The Matrix, I saw the new trailer. It looks good and all that. I'm probably still going to watch it on HBO Max. I mean, I just don't want. It's pretty much that or Spider-Man, and I want to go see Spider-Man because it's pretty much. I don't know when it's going to stream and all that. So, and I just going to have to. I know 2 days before it comes out here, it gets released in Europe. So I pretty much going to have to not watch YouTube. I'm just going to a hiatus of YouTube for at least 3 days before the movie comes out for I don't know because it's going to be as soon as it hits in I think it's England and somewhere in France or somewhere it comes out first. It's going to be everywhere. So everything's going to come out. And I want to be a little surprised. I want to be a little I want to
because we know that people in Europe had spoiled Godzilla versus Kong. I was mad.
Well, Endgame too. I think remember Endgame was out over there first, and I knew, and then what sucks, I sort of knew a lot of things that was happening in Endgame before it actually happened. So it was like, but I'm gonna be excited, but I'm gonna try to try to avoid YouTube for a couple days because the problem you can't do it because boom, it's it's on the pick. Everybody's gonna be boom, 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 boom. Because just looking in there, all your friends, everything's gonna show everything. Because all your movie reviews. So you just can't really watch it. I have to avoid YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that. I pretty much just don't look at my phone. For a couple of days. That's what I have to do.
Yeah, because at the last movie came out, Godzilla versus Kong. I wasn't on my Instagram for my next 2 or 3 days. I did not look at it.
Oh yeah, because it's everywhere. I know it's everywhere. I mean, it's like Mortal Kombat, all that suit shit. It was. I mean, that's the only problem. It's only they should release the movie worldwide the same day. That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
because when they start doing this,
people forget how bad Mortal Kombat 3 was. The last one before the new one came out. That because people keep on complaining about the new one, but guess what? I'm telling people, y'all must have forgot how bad the first one was, the third one was before.
You
could have told me the new one's the worst one, but that's what the new ones that sound like the prequel before the tournament, and that what people just don't get. This was the prequel before the tournament and stuff like that. Yeah. And that people don't get taught. So the prequel movies is always boring. You always know that the first movie never had the most action anyway. It tells story. Most of the time. And people busy complaining, but if this was a Disney Marvel movie, half of them Disney fans would have been defending everything else.
Yeah, that's the problem. People, they're going like, oh, you got your DC fan base and you got your Marvel fan base. And what sucks, those people will defend their movie side, even if they suck. And if the other side's good, they'll still say the other one suck. Hey, I want to see them both. I don't, like I said, I like Marvel. I like DC. I mean, I want to go see a good Superman movie. I want to go see a good Spider-Man movie. I want to go see a good, I don't care. I just want a good movie. That's, a lot of them they like that hate for especially some of these channels, they'll be they want to fail for it. I guess they can, cry and bitch and whine for 2 or 3 weeks about, Spider-Man had an extra. There was an extra little blue mark on Spider. It's just like, my God. It's like, okay,
Why are you worrying about the blue mark instead of you worrying about the story of the movie?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what you hear. Oh, they gave Uncle Ben he had he had brown hair instead of black hair or this. I'm like, I don't care. or they'll start about the race swapping or this. I don't. As long as the movie has a good story, the characters make sense in the story. I don't care. They can change stuff around. I like it when they're closer to the comics, but I know you're not going to get that all the time. But I want a good story. But the Spider-Man can look just like the comic, but if the story's trash, it doesn't matter what he looks like. The story is the main thing.
Yeah, that because some people just go by looks. And I look at people, I say, why are you going by the looks instead you're going by the story that you see inside the movie?
Exactly. Well, I know a lot of people mention probably. I mean, there's certain characters, I wish they wouldn't have changed around. And then there's some, it makes sense. It's like, like Nick Fury, for example. Yeah. In the comics and TV, he looks like he sort of looks like what's his name? He looks like what's the guy?
One of the soldiers in it.
Yeah, he looks just like he looks like a white dude. So Nick, and then like, oh, they changed it. But you know what? That was a great change. Samuel Jackson. I think now I hate to say it. I think of Nick Fury. I think that's Samuel Jackson. I'm sorry. It just he made that role better than it was. I mean, I'm not now like the Captain Marvel thing. I'm a little, I wish they would have did it correct, correct vision on that. I didn't Marvel, her. I didn't like that at all. But
because that movie didn't how it got nothing for the comic, right? Because I'm looking at that, I say, how?
There was parts of the movie I liked, but there was parts I didn't like. I could have
made the males look dumb in that movie. They make the males look like
that was something. There was a lot of propaganda, a lot of they say SJW, woke, whatever. Yeah, they were trying to force it down your throat. And say, I don't like when they do that movie. I just want to see a good movie to enjoy. I don't want a political statement in the movie. I don't want that. I just want to see a movie that makes sense to enjoy. I'm not there for a political statement. I just want to see a movie. I'm there. It's my day off. I got a $10 box of popcorn. I just paid from the concession in my big 24-ounce Coke. And I'm there to sit back in my chair, put my arms back. Hopefully the chair ain't broke. We're in an old theater and the chair ain't broke. And gums on my shoe from the floor and all. Nice. Just good feeling. I'm relaxed back. Screen comes on, commercials, and I'm just there to relax and enjoy something. I'm not here to, something, to force something down my throat.
Jason, did you watch Power Rangers growing up, anything like that? The old ones?
I never got into the Power Rangers. I've seen the movie long time ago. I mean, I've watched a little here and there, but I know a little basic, but I never really got into them. I never.
If you was over Netflix, anything like that, like how would you do the first movie of Power Rangers? It sound like if you was to. I know
I know Netflix took over the franchise. I'm assuming that's what I heard or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I saw parts of that movie. Are they going to do a movie or are they doing a series? What are they doing?
They're doing animation and movies. The animation for the kids.
Oh, okay. So they're going to do a series and a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you need to go back to basics from the the original ones, and I mean, it's depending on what they're doing. I mean, if they're trying to do a continuation, I know there's like 15 different series and different. I know. I know my kids watched a little bit. I know what they like. Every season they changed. Like they were like Dino one, and there was space, different things. I never got into it. It was something I never really got into. I mean, when they came out, I was I'm trying to think. I think I was already graduated. I think I was starting work, so it wasn't really a series I grew up with. I mean, it was it was a a series that came after I was already graduated and stuff. I mean, I saw bits and pieces, but it was my boss. He was older than me, and he was really in the Power Rangers. I'm like, and I sort of like. I was laughing at him. I said, "Dude, you watch a little kiddie show?" Or, I was, fame. I always said, but I just like it was something I never got into. Now, I mean, if it'd been back in the day, I probably would have. Went back in the day when you had Voltron and Silverhawks and Thundercats.
Yeah, you saw the. Oh yeah, because if you like the comic books of Power Rangers and stuff like that, the comic book of Power Rangers is more like a grown up version of the Power Rangers that's in the series, right? Mm-hmm. Because the one that was on Fox, right? They couldn't really take it there as adults and stuff like that because it's like a kids show.
Yeah,
but since they're putting on Netflix and stuff like that,
and Disney owned it too at one time when they bought Fox Family. They got the rights to it, I didn't understand that because I'm like I never was into it, but I was always thinking I was like this is something that's similar to Marvel. They just bought Marvel when they were trying to sell it. They sold it cheap. They only sold it for like. I looked up the article. It was like $40 million. It's very cheap. They pretty much gave it away. But they were saying they were complaining because they said parents thought it was too violent for the kids. And so I'm like, that's the problem. That's the problem with Disney. And I watched some series. I didn't see it that violent. I'm like, but I was gonna say Marvel. Certain parts of Marvel is more violent than that. But I just thought it was a wasted. Franchises that you could have integrated it with Marvel or had it, I feel if Kevin Feige would have could have had had a shot at it, him producing it, he probably could have made that a $1 billion franchise,
Yeah. That because we know if DC had it, if DC had it,
or DC,
that because it said Netflix bought it before HBO Max came out. That was the thing. Because we know if HBO Max was there before Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Well, Disney wasted too because they're always saying, "Oh, we got to have content. We need more content. We need just to fill up our Disney Plus." Well, there's like 15 or 16 seasons of that show. God, that's a big content filler right there. Yeah. Well, they do still. What's funny? They still own the first two movies because the first two movies were produced by Fox. So if you ever go to Disney Plus, if you ever international, if you ever VPN and go on the Disney Plus internet, you'll see the Power Ranger movie and I think it's Turbo's the second one. So they do have still Power Rangers. They just don't have all those series because they had 10 years worth of series that Disney produced. The Power Rangers. So,
and it kind of the bad thing about Disney, right? Is like Disney could have a good thing in front of them. They find a way to screw it up. Sound like the Power Rangers series. Sound like sound like this. Find like that parents talk about something. It's too violent. That's what kids is not kids no more. What were you talking about? Too violent.
We were talking. This is funny. We were talking about wrestling the other night. Do you remember that group? It was called Right to Censor on they on WWE. It was back in the Attitude Era. They had I think it was the what's his name? The Godfather was one of them. It was Steven Richards. I think he started. He came out there with the white shirt and black pants, and they looked like a bunch of and they were and they got, I think I was Ivory or Victoria. They grabbed. He started with him, and he started harassing people one by one, and then they started, growing. And I remember they made the Godfather. They beat him up until he finally joined the group, and so he was like he got rid of his hose, and he became a Right to Censor. And that's sort of they remind me of Disney. They remind me of Disney, man. That's what Disney does. It's like. We got to have wholesome, good things. We can't say this, can't do. I was like, come on, HBO. I mean, I look at it, HBO Max. I go even Paramount Plus, HBO Max, because Paramount has Nickelodeon. Okay, Warner Brothers, HBO Max. They have the Looney Tunes but you know what? I can go watch my Looney Tunes, and I can still go watch my trying to think what is. They got more violent shows, or they got the Crunchyroll and different things. It ain't just like it's all PGs rated films and that's it. They got well. That's the thing about Disney Plus that aggravates me too about the one here in the United States is I like every movie doesn't have to be a rated R movie, but damn you do like some movies. I would like something besides, Mary Poppins every day and this. I like something a little more. They got The Conjuring on over there. They got Halloween. Different, like I say, like Halloween or
Scooby Doo, everything like that.
Well, I'm just saying, you can watch your comedy. You can watch your comedies, or you can watch a horror movie, or you can watch a thriller movie. See, in Disney Plus, they have like Armageddon and all those movies, and they don't even have them. They don't even have them on Disney Plus here, and it's like, damn, you don't have even your thriller movies. You don't have Armageddon, The Rock. I know, because they had a lot of thriller movies they made back in the day. And Independence Day, because they own Fox, a bunch of movies. They only remember PG-13 movies. I'm like, why can't we even have them? So you definitely ain't gonna have no rated R movies on it. You ain't gonna have no Deadpool 2 or whatever else, Die Hard or Alien or anything like that, because I'm hoping they just get out of that mindset. Okay, we got to have PG or G-rated content. And that's it. Get out of that concept. We're in 2021. Get out of that concept.
And this the thing, Thomas. Disney already did it by the Captain America series. The Captain America series have violence in it, and kids.
Yeah, I was that show. I was very surprised. They went that far as they did, and that was probably, to me, one of the best shows they produced. I mean, it was really. I thought it was a really good show. I mean, and it was, like you said, it was more grittier. It went. I mean, it was way more violent, especially when what was the new Captain America guy? The U.S. agent. What's it called? When he got that shield and he was like decapitated that guy, saying, you seen the blood on the shield. I was like, holy crap, they showed that. They showed the blood on the shield on it, because I mean, what he was doing. He was pretty much decapitating that guy. I mean, it wasn't like, he's just hitting him in the arm. No, he was freaking decapitating this guy's head off. And he, you see the blood, like I think some sprayed on his face, and it was all over the shield, and he holds that shield up, and I was like, holy crap, that's. Yeah, but I'm just saying, it was a really good show. It was grittier, and I'm hoping when we get the Captain America 4 with Sam and Bucky, because both they'll both be in there. They'll both because he'll probably Bucky will be Captain's. He'll be a sidekick. So that I'm hoping we get that same time. I hope it ain't no. We're gonna have it like, okay, let's just make it a PG Captain America. I want that rough, grittier, just like Winter Soldier show. I want it good like that. I don't want it. Don't give us a bunch of sugar candy and show. Make it the same quality. Make it where I'm like I said, if that would have been a movie. I thought that could have been close to R. It wasn't an R because they didn't use the language, but it was with the violence in there. They could have that would have might even made an R-rated movie. And it was sad. It probably was even more violent, and they cut it out even more. They probably was even because they said some of the shows that Disney made them cut more back to what it was. So just imagine what we could have got if we wouldn't had the right to censor Disney on there.
And this might be controversial to say about that show. Is like Sam might need to take that serum in the future.
He could.
I mean, gonna need to take it because we know that that Shang-Chi coming, he got powers. Captain Marvel coming, she got powers. All these people right here.
I love the way they combined the Falcon and the Captain America, because he has the, because in the Captain America he got the wings still on the Captain America suit. I love the way they combined that. I'd say they did just. I'm glad they did just throw him into a regular Captain America suit and say, okay, you're the next Captain America. I like where they integrate into him like a new. He's a new character. He's almost like a new character. He's got new, he's got his shield, but it's different. He has the wings. He still has the little Falcon, the little remote control, the birds and all. He still has that on him and all that. I like that. I'm like, I'm glad they didn't say, okay, we're just going to put him in here. He's the Captain America. He's going to wear the same suit that the original Captain America. I'm glad they made the suit look different. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I really like what they did there. So, I mean, give us something new. I mean, it's sort of, it's sort of like changing Captain America. They could change just like like James Bond. There's been like 4 or 5 different Bonds. And I probably what may happen in the future if Sam does a couple of movies and something if he doesn't what's so good about it anyway if he decides to do one because Bucky is actually he become Captain America too in the comics too, so if he stays on, something happens, you have an easy way to replace Captain America if that's
sound like Sam could be the East Coast Avenger leader and Bucky could be the West Coast Avenger leader.
You could do that. If you do 2 different things. I mean, at least they do have a backup just in case something happens. See, like it's like unfortunately, like Black Panther, like what's happening now. They don't want to recast T'Challa. Shuri,
they gotta have to, I think, too.
Well, they need to. I mean, they're gonna have to figure out something because Shuri. I'm assuming right now the way it sounds, Shuri is our Black Panther. Because if the whole production is shut down because of her, and they ain't gonna start for 6 more months, that pretty much tells us she's the Black Panther. So so that's just
bad thing. That's kind of bad thing. That's kind of bad thing in my opinion because you look at last movie, she just went a jokester and she wasn't ready even just for Killmonger. Because look at Killmonger, they even go all out and he almost killed her.
Well, there's nothing wrong for Shuri to become Black Panther in the future. She's too young for right now. No thanks. She's very young. If you go by the comics, she does become it, but there's a lot of story to tell still with T'Challa. I mean, there's, you could bring Storm in, there's so much, especially with this thing with Namor coming, because T'Challa fights Namor in a lot of the comics. Only thing I can figure is what's going to happen, and it's pretty much predictable since they're saying Namor is going to be in there. They got to explain how T'Challa just disappears. They can't just say, T'Challa just, they're going to have the suit. They're going to have a double in the suit, and they're going to have either Namor kill him or something and say, and then Shuri becomes. That's the only thing I can figure what's going to happen because they can't just say, T'Challa went off on a mission and he didn't come back. He died. I mean, you got to make it, you got to make the story believable and, make sense. If you're going to say he's dead, that's fine. But they're going to have somebody in a stunt double suit. They can't show his face because he's not there. But have him in the suit. Have somebody in the suit. He fights Namor. He and if Namor does kill him, he kills him. And then they have then they'll have to have the funeral. In Wakanda. But they won't. Because they want to be respected, not show his face. Okay, they have the funeral. Yeah. But that's the only way I can see. Okay. But you just can't say, start the movie off with Shuri's Black Panther. I'd be like, what the hell is it? It's going to say, what the hell's going on here? It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense if they're going to do that.
Kind of problem with that is like Black Panther also uses brain too to fight people that's powerful. Sound like Namor and stuff like that. Like he don't go haphazard into a battle. He also thinks too. Just why he fighting because you remember in the comics he actually beat the Fantastic Four just by pretending to be captured or something like that. And he beat them just inside out. Just by one because he said the hardest fight just was the Human Torch. That was the hardest one he had to beat.
And that's like I said, it was an untimely death that and I'm sure. Ryan Coogler had a script ready for him in Black Panther 2, and it would have probably. I mean, we're getting a different movie than we were originally going to get. I mean, here he had it already written down, and he knew what he wanted to do. I mean, and he's thinking, in a problem with the whole situation. He's gonna get fans being pain, fans are gonna be mad at him no matter what he does because they're gonna say, "Oh, you should have recast," and you're gonna have the fans that, "Oh, you shouldn't recast." So he's in a tough situation anyway. And they're gonna blame the director anyway. They're gonna blame and I feel bad for him because he's in a tough situation and he had a movie he wanted to make, and he probably would have made Black Panther 2 what he was wanting to make, and it probably would have been as successful or more successful than the original one, especially with Namor and all that. So now, I mean, it's and now he's got to figure how we're going to do this, and without pissing too many people off, where it's going to make sense. Because I mean, it's like it's it's like any movie, if you take the main character out, he's like, oh damn, how are we going to figure out how the well, it's sort of like The Last Jedi when you kill the main villain and you kill Luke Skywalker, right? And it's sort of that third movie is like hell. I mean, that's the same thing. It's like
because the second movie just was so bad, the third movie can't save it.
Well, yeah, and J.J. Abrams sort of tried to salvage what he could. I mean, everybody blamed. I was like, well, the only thing I blame J.J. Abrams should say, you know what, I'm directing all three. And where they were all he had script, but Ryan Johnson did not. Ryan Johnson went rogue and did what the hell he wanted. And I blame Kathleen Kennedy for that. She should not allow that to happen. So if Kathleen Kennedy would have been anything like Kevin Feige, she would have stopped that in its tracks. She would not have released that film and say, you know what, this film is going to freaking piss a lot of people off and destroy the fandom, and it's going to be hard as hell to make a third movie. That's what Kevin Feige would have been in that spot. He wouldn't have had that situation. Yeah. But that's that's the only thing bad. So hopefully, and he's like I said, but the same with Shuri now. She's having his problems, and things. So if they have to replace her, you're looking at the movie probably being delayed for at least another year if that happens. Because then you got to figure, okay, we got to replace Shuri. Are we going to replace Black Panther for sure? Or are we going to replace Shuri's character? So that would really be a wrench in the the machine that you didn't replace Black Panther, but now you got to replace the one you were going to make Black Panther. So that would have been like. And that would just pretty much almost doom the film. So I hope hopefully we don't get in that bad a situation. I know it's we're not going to get what we want, and I have a bad feeling about that. But I hope it's a decent movie that will carry on. That will not be it's just I don't want a total trash a total trash movie. I want it we may not get what we originally wanted, but at least get something that's going to be good enough to carry on to the next level, and we can build upon that. That's the main thing.
Good. Just shoot that. Kind of like for me, right? Sound like the Power Ranger stuff they put come out in the future and stuff like that. Sound like regular people who didn't watch Power Rangers growing up. You know what I mean? Sound like regular people who didn't watch growing up and stuff like that. This gives Netflix a chance to grow more fans just for the franchise.
Well, see, the thing is like if they do a good show like that and it looks really intriguing. Like I said, I never really watched. I like bits and pieces, but if it's something that's quality, good, really good show, I would definitely be interested in watching it. I just something if I see it and if I look at it, watching it, it looks like it's a like cheesy. CW, or not CW, UPN. You remember the old, when they made the old cheesy shows, it was like half the, like it looked like you got cardboard cutouts and stuff in the background stuff. I mean, if it looks like a really quality show, I that would, like I said, like person like me who that really didn't get into it, that might be interesting and check that. So like the Cowboy Bebop, man. I never heard of that, show, but I sort of like, it was pretty good. To me, it was pretty good. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And I was like I said, you were the fan of the comics and the anime, so I really know about it. And you probably seen the things they probably did wrong. Yeah. I mean, I could sort of see things that really didn't make sense, but. As all of a show I've never seen before, I thought it was a pretty good show. So I was, impressed and maybe a fan of something I never seen before. So I was like, oh, it's something new, So
and kind of like the fans, I think sound like sound like some fans is giving the show too high or something expectations. Sometimes I think because show they expect the show and anime to be mirrored just to each other, but you can't bring everything for anime onto live action because you
No,
know
no, that's
that
probably
people,
tough. It's
yeah,
probably
and that what fans just don't understand sometimes because like for me, right, I'm just actually in the middle because that's what I actually understand. Like you can't bring everything from
yeah. See,
anime to the live
see,
action,
I don't
but
watch a lot of I don't watch a lot of anime, so I don't really know a lot of stuff about the anime. But see, it's good to have a show like that. It drew me in. I didn't know nothing about it, and I liked it.
yeah,
So that helps when you do that. Sometimes, okay, then that gives me like, okay, when they, you know, bring another show in, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Since I like that show. So it makes new fans. People who've never
yeah,
watched the anime or stuff. So I actually, it's good sometimes, and as long as they do
yeah.
like at Alita Battle Angel, I really liked it. I didn't know nothing about that either when I watched it. I really
That
liked that
was
movie.
the one close to the anime that live action little movie.
Yeah.
That was that was the closest thing to anime I
It's like
saw.
I said, I had no clue when I went in there. I only thing I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer. I was like, damn. I'm looking at something. I thought it was something like Robo. I didn't know what it was about. So I was like, damn, this
Yeah,
looks like something like RoboCop, Blade Runner mix. I thought it was like, oh, this looks pretty good. I said, so I'll give it a chance. I'm going to give it a shot. And me and my friend, we went and watched it because he knew he was in anime, so he knew more about it. So he was excited about
yeah.
it. I said, okay, I'll go watch it. It looks pretty cool.
That
Dude, I thought it was. I was like, damn, this is a good movie, man. After watching it, I said that was a damn good movie. So
because they said they supposed to be making another Kong movie, and and put another Kong movie supposed to be like in Hollow Earth.
oh yeah,
Because you
yeah,
saw because you saw up in Godzilla versus Kong, it was a throne there,
oh yeah, oh yeah. I
and
mean,
that tells
they're supposed to make a lot of monster movies. I looked
yeah,
at something. I mean, if they do their original plan, they're supposed to make another 6 or 7 different films, another
yeah,
Godzilla, and I mean, there's a ton of different that monster verse. There's a lot in there too. I mean,
yeah.
you know,
And some of the multiverse movies is better than Marvel movies, which is sad because I'm looking at that. I say, how in the world do a monster movie is willing to take it there what Disney don't do? I say Godzilla versus Kong do more stuff than the characters do. That's human. That's in Marvel. I say, come
mhm.
on now, people, Be, because just I should not be saying that a monster movie do more than some Marvel comic shows, and that's
Mhm.
bad.
Oh yeah.
Because you look at it right now, up in Kong universe, like because since I saw that throne room, that mean that it might be some kind of evil Kong down there, something like that, or
Oh
some
yeah.
kind of king off a monkey or something like that.
There's a lot they could a lot they could do. I mean, I mean if since that's on since that's HBO Warner Brothers property, also I mean
Yeah,
you could do a series. I mean, there's a lot. If they don't want to make the movie, they can make a series out of the thing.
they can
I
make
mean,
series just are the lower monsters. You know what I mean? It sounds like the lower monsters. That's not
hmm
Godzilla or Kong. They,
exactly.
just make a series of the origin of some of monsters
hmm
fighting other monsters and enemies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, I mean, they're not the best movies, but I always watch them. I mean, it's just something
Yeah.
I always watched. I watched them type of movies, and this, and there's a fan base. There's a pretty good size. I mean, that movie did pretty good, so there's a decent sized fan base for them.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Because you notice, like, each when it came out, it made more and more money. Each one it
hmm
came out. Because I think if Godzilla versus Kong wasn't on HBO Max, that movie probably make about 600 or 700 million. I think
hmm
it wasn't on there because shoot, it was a whole lot of people that was hyped to go to the movie.
hmm
And plus, and and do you think if this Blue Beetle movie that coming out, it sound like a Jaime Ramos come out on HBO Max actually be a hit? Would the other just what HBO Max do the other one, Ted Cruz? I think the other Blue Beetle, if the first one end up being a hit, sense to do the multiverse because that'd be a good thing. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
It,
long as long as they got got a good story, the
yeah,
director, that long as that's the main thing. Make sure the story is good, and people will watch it. But when they start doing these this half-ass thrown together stories, they need to have directors and writers that know the properties. That's the main thing.
yeah,
I mean, they go like, "Oh, we hired so and so and so," and then and you look at their record, and then they come out, "Oh, I don't know nothing about
yeah,
DC, but I'm excited to write a story." Well, how are you? You don't know nothing about the property. Then why are you? How are you going to know? How are you going to know what to write? I mean,
yeah.
that's what's
Because
happened to a lot of these franchises. They just
that would happen to
don't.
One Division too, because
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't tell
she
about
did.
the One Division.
Oh, the director didn't know nothing about Wanda, Agatha, none of them, and they wrote that. I'm like, well, I was like, wow. Or Mephisto, they didn't even know who Mephisto was. See, Mephisto was supposed to be in there, but they didn't know who
They didn't
Mephisto
read the
was.
comic
I'm
this way.
like, oh my god.
Why do Disney hire people without doing any research, or just at least make the person read a comic or something like that? Read the
Mm-hmm.
comics. They got comics, they got audio books, everything for you to go by before you make the show. How
Oh
in the
yeah.
world do you not? And that's what this is the bad thing about something like Wanda is one of the most popular
Mm-hmm.
mutants. Scarlet Witch. She one of the most popular mutants because that's
Yeah.
what she is, Magneto's daughter. And,
Exactly.
and they could have teased that inside the show if they would have read the comics
Oh,
or look
and
at
then
the show.
the Quicksilver thing. I thought they was actually going to bring Quicksilver back, and they didn't. So it was like, well,
I was mad at that. I was mad at
yeah,
that
and well,
because
that whole thing was a joke, and then they brought the other Quicksilver from the for the X from the
yeah, the
Fox
Fox.
X Men, but then they made it a joke, like he was just a
That's
ordinary
trash.
person. So to me, well, and then remember they had him actually like Quicksilver. He was zooming around and all that. So I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah,
this ain't too bad. And then they made a joke of it. I was like, that was sort of, I would have rather them not even brought him in at all if they were, than the way they did that.
yeah,
But
yeah, and this was my problem with it. Is it sound like why would you make one of your best Quicksilvers a joke?
oh
And
yeah,
that's that because right then when you brought in Quicksilver, that people was expecting Magneto to pop up
oh yeah.
because
See, oh yeah, that was the thing. Well, yeah. Then that was the problem about the series. They kept saying that they were going to have this Luke Skywalker moment, just like they had in the Mandalorian with
yeah,
Luke Skywalker. And then people were like, "Oh, it's going to be Mephisto. It's going to be Nightmare." Then it was like,
yeah,
"Oh, it's going to be Professor X." And then they said it was going to be a Magneto, and then Magneto. And then we get Vision himself, because you remember Vision said, "Oh, we're going to be
yeah.
the person I'm like," and it was himself, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that just
That was dumb though because
to me,
I was expecting Vision to be Vision anyway at the end of the show because we all know that Vision is just a robot, some kind of android robot.
yeah, I was gonna say that just. I mean, I don't have a problem, them making another Vision. That was fine. But they made that tease like we're going to get a character that's going to make the difference. We're going to get a Wolverine, or we're going to get a Professor X,
Uh,
or even Doctor Strange would have showed up in the show. It would have made,
yeah,
it would have been like, oh, it been. But then the way it ended, it was like, it was
yeah,
it was a let. I mean, it was a letdown. It was just you're expecting, filet mignon from Outback, and we get a freaking $1 hamburger from McDonald's. That's just, to me, that's the
yeah,
way it felt like. I mean, because I mean they hyped that up so big, and it just was
oh
not. It was
yeah,
not a payoff. It was not a payoff. And that's all I said. I'd rather them just said nothing at all and say and make all this excitement for people, and then let them down. I'd rather them just said nothing at all. Okay, they might
yeah,
be
there might be a thing, but but they hyped it up so big, and to me that was it just was such a letdown over that.
Because like for me, right, if I was watching the show and plus I wouldn't know then that the big old director didn't even read the comic, so my hype just would have went down.
Oh yeah,
Then the end of the show, if I would have known that the director didn't she didn't even read a comic on WandaVision.
Oh yeah, I know. I heard that right after the show was over. I was like, good Lord. I'm like, they could have, they could, all the directors out there, and they have to pick somebody,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a problem about giving somebody a chance. Okay. They say, oh, we're giving a ladies, we need to get more women directors. I have no problem with that. But when they come out and says, I have no clue about this series, I don't know enough. I don't know, Wanda from Vision or anybody. And then to me, that's a problem. They need somebody. You need to have some knowledge of the property. Don't
just because, right? It's a lot of smaller directors that know about comic book characters, but the thing is, like, this, they don't want to take a chance on them.
Well, look at James Gunn. Now, James Gunn is a really good director, and I know a lot of people, and he had his little tweets in the past. But the thing about James Gunn is like Kevin Smith or he knows his he knows he knows these characters. He knows like the Guardians of the Galaxy. He knew. I didn't know jack crap about the Guardians of the Galaxy. He knew these. He knew these characters. He was the perfect person to put in charge of that. Yeah. And he made them a freaking $1 billion. Well, both of them combined, $1 billion IP, about $1.5 billion. But I'm just saying, if you'd have got any other director, that franchise would have bombed because I don't think there's a lot of directors out there know anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Zack Snyder did.
Well, it may be Zack Snyder. Well, I'm just saying, but I'm saying, but if they would have put a Patty Jenkins or something, I'm sure she didn't know nothing about the Guardians of the Galaxy or anybody. Because I mean, it's not a franchise unless you that was like your thing. And he probably, because how he snuck Howard. If I would have did a Howard the Duck movie, I would have put him in charge because he knows a lot of lore about Howard the Duck too. But he knew those characters inside out, and he was deep into the lore of the comic those when they were created in the comics and stuff. And he put on he made the movie great. Like I said, but if you'd have put anybody else. You'd have put anybody, even a Steven Spielberg or anybody, I'm sure they didn't know nothing about those Rocket Raccoon and Drax and all this. I mean, he did a pretty damn good job at bringing an IP that nobody heard of until, now one of the most popular. Look, they got their own video game now. It just came out. Supposedly really good. Supposedly a really good game. And, merchandise. I mean, I go down to Walmart. Hey, guess what? I see a Rocket Raccoon bed sheet, and I see a little baby Groots everywhere, because everybody loves the baby Groot. So you see the baby Groot mugs, and I mean, out of a franchise nobody's ever heard of. It's an older it's a franchise that's been there a long time. It ain't like it just was produced last week. I mean, it's a franchise that's been in the comics for a long time. It's just nobody's heard of it. And he made it almost a household name. I mean, there's some people, but maybe it's not as popular as Iron Man or Spider-Man, but it's out there. A lot of kids know who Star-Lord is now, and they know. The only thing I don't like about they didn't Adam Warlock. Well, like your man right there, and your Adam Warlock. They took the 3 movies to bring Adam Warlock in. That's the only thing.
He should have been there by the second one. He should have been there.
Yeah, he definitely should have been the second one. I mean, he should have been in an Infinity War. If they would have did it right, he should have been fighting Thanos. But they did. That didn't happen. But But that's the only thing. But but I'm hoping now this third one they bring him in. Well, Beta Ray Bill too. I mean, they need to. I don't know if they're going to bring him for that one or he's going to come in a Thor movie or something. He's another character.
Beta Ray Bill should have been in Thor Ragnarok.
He is on that tower of the He's up the grand champion on the tower on the castle thing. He's
Yeah.
up there. He's up there. Him, Man Thing, and there's one other character up there.
But the kind of like the one villain that was missing was the Red King, because you remember, like in Planet Hawk, the Red King just had a Hawk fighting with Korg and everybody else fighting inside the arena. Remember the movie, the anime movie? This should put him in it instead of the Grandmaster.
Yeah. I mean,
but we all know that Disney don't like to put.
I was very surprised they put Surtur in there. I was very surprised. I was like, I mean, I was a character I didn't think Disney would push and get in there, but I mean, I'm glad he did, and I mean, because that was a character I actually wanted to see. I didn't think they'd ever show, but I just figured with Disney, I didn't think they would have brought him in there.
They say Disney didn't want him in there. That was Walker Takiti want him in there.
Yeah. Now I like Walker Takiti. I like Ragnarok, and I'm hoping this next Thor is going to be really good too. I know they're going to be a female Thor. They're trying to push that agenda on everybody, but I hope they just make it where it makes sense. I know they added her in the comics and made her, female Thor, but you got a lot. You got Christian Bale's going to play Gore the God Butcher. Yeah. And that brings a lot. There's a lot of things that could tie into, because the blade he carries now, that's the symbiote that ties into the symbiotes with Spider-Man with his
and
because that symbiote leader, the God symbiote, he used that sword to cut off that that nowhere's that nowhere head, the one it's a the Celestials. That was a Celestial, and he cut that head off. So there's a lot of things that could tie. Hopefully they do it well, because that could tie into a lot of things in the future.
That could bring in Icarus and start a movie too, because what I mean, it sounds like Icarus.
We got the Black Knight. You got the Black Knight too. So that could there's a lot of stuff in there. It could just hopefully they don't try to push a bunch of garbage down our throats and say, oh, this female Thor is better than the male Thor. I just hope, I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
If that's what they're going to do, I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see that crap.
We saw that fight inside the comics, is that the female Thor wasn't nowhere near the level of male Thor up in the comics.
Yeah, I know.
Because she tried it when somebody had just had mind control her or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thor had beat her less than 5 minutes, I think, doing that fight. Because that's when he didn't hurt her, but he just knocked her out.
Yeah,
the breaker out the mind control.
Yeah,
and that was my thing about it. Like, I just don't like Disney just put certain stuff. It's just instead of don't worry about the story first. Worry about the story, then you worry about the agenda you want to push.
Oh yeah. Get a good story in there. You got to get a good story, and make sure we got your good the characters. You need to make sure that, like I said, the actors and actresses you pick is good. I hope Christian Bale's I hope that's a good role for him. They were talking Keanu Reeves there for a while, but hopefully they pick the right person. And
I'm just scared for Christian Bale doing that role, because we all know is that Disney just try to keep their family brand sometime, and Disney might try to tell an actress sometime to tone it down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, family brand sometime, and that's kind of the bad thing about it.
I just seen something on here. It says Venom 3 is going to be a Marvel Studios and Sony joint production, reportedly.
Oh shit!
So, and I bet Morbius. I'm sure they're going to flap that. Well, they're going to flop that Marvel Studios logo on. Well, I mean, it's smart. I guess Morbius will probably do the same thing too, because they're trying to make sure
that that third Venom movie is going to be PG-13. It won't be an R. I know that.
Well, they haven't gave us an R anyway, so I mean, it's kind of you had one of the most violent characters in all of Marvel, and you gave him a PG-13 movie, which is Carnage. So I mean, I mean, you can't really expect them to get any different. So I just was a shocker to me because I'm like, Carnage is not a friendly go getter
Nope.
villain. He's a violent, bloody,
Killer.
killer. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's not. It's not a, oh, let's take the kids to see. The kids get a Carnage shirt. I actually had a Carnage shirt because they used to. I live here in Florida, and
Yeah.
Universal has the rights to the characters, and before Disney bought them, and they had a Carnage haunted house, and that house that was one of the best haunted houses one year. They had it up when they had the Halloween Horror Nights in Universal, at Islands
Mhm.
Adventure where the Marvel's people are, where the
Oh
Marvel
yeah.
area is, and they had a Carnage house, and that was a scary ass house. It wasn't no friendly, boo hoo, it's scary. But I can say, if you look at the comics, they're not
Mhm.
he's a violent character. He's not a PG-13 character.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, and that comes down to Blade, and that's going to come down to Ghost Rider, and
Ooh,
all that.
yeah.
When they start making this, a
I'm
PG
scared.
Blade is not going to cut it. I'm sorry.
Be-
Those
Because
Blade
they tried
movies,
to Blade 3. There you made a play. Blade 3 when they tried PG-13, it did not work.
was Blade 3 PG-13, the Trinity?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Oh,
third
okay,
one.
I wonder why. Okay, then that's when that movie wasn't that great. Then okay, I
Yeah.
remember now. I said that was one of the worst ones. The first and second movie were really good. I'm like
That was
that
made by
Warner
Marvel
Brothers.
Studios.
Well, Warner
No, no,
Brothers.
no.
Warner Brothers had it was a New Line Cinema made them from, which is owned by Warner Brothers. That was when
No. They said Blade 1 and 2 was full Warner Brothers. But
yeah, it was.
Blade 3, Marvel came in and
Oh,
changed
okay.
some of the movie.
Oh, okay. They might have been helping with them, yeah. But I know the Blade. I know Warner Brothers had the rights to Blade for a long time. And then,
What's up,
what's
kid?
up, Dots? What's going on? Hop in if you
And
want to, man. It's in there.
and
Yeah,
kind of like
but those first two movies, the first two movies was really good. But you ain't gonna see Disney make that. That's the problem. And and if they want to make a, Blade was New Line Cinema, which is owned. Well, New Line Cinema used to be owned by Ted Turner, and then the Warner Brothers bought them out, so it's pretty much Warner Brothers.
okay,
Warner
you just
Brothers,
had one of them.
yeah. New Line Cinema. It was part of the TBS TNT used to. Well, and then company or what Turner Networks or whatever they used to call them, and then and WB bought them out, and then they become part of pretty much just like a smaller label under Warner Brothers. If I haven't
Yeah.
seen a lot of New Line Cinema movies out lately, so they might just be pure Warner Brothers. They might have just dissolved them into Warner
And
Brothers.
kind of like for me, right? If I was The Rock, right, and he have his production company bought out, and I was him, I would not let Disney buy it out because you all know Disney like to put their companies under constructions.
Which company is it? Which company?
Warner Brothers give you more freedom
Oh
dealing
yeah,
with your movies, but Disney don't.
yeah. Well, it
And
was
that's
part of. Well, problem why they was with Warner Brothers is when Marvel went bankrupt. That's how Sony got Spider-Man, and Fox got what they originally had, Daredevil and Fantastic Four and X-Men.
yeah,
I think what was it? Lionsgate had the Punisher, because there was two Punisher films came out, and they had Man Thing and Captain America and Thor it was owned by, I think it was either Sony or New Line 2. And then what happened, they have, where you have to make a movie so many movies in a year, and I guess the rights, they reverted back. Well, that's the same for Daredevil, not Daredevil, Ghost Rider, because Sony had the rights to Ghost Rider, and they just decided after that second Nicolas Cage movie, they said, "Oh, hell with it," and they just let the rights go back to
that
Marvel.
was That was dumb though, because you look at Ghost Rider could be like a $1 billion franchise if they would
Well,
actually
yeah,
do it
that
right.
was the thing. They were rumored to merge it with Spider-Man. It was since they had the rights to him, and they just decided
Yeah.
to give it up. So
If they would have merged it with Spider-Man, that movie probably make so much money. It
yeah,
do
it
it for
probably would have
good
helped it
movie.
out. I mean, that would probably made it more money. Well, it was like Fox was rumored to merge the X-Men and the Fantastic Four too. They were
Yeah.
before they got about. They were gonna you was going to see a sort of merged universe, and see they had Daredevil too. And then you remember they lost the rights. They pretty much decided not to make another Daredevil, and
Oh
they
yeah.
reverted back too, because you remember they made the first one and they made a Elektra movie too.
That because you look at it, if Warner Brothers doing like a multiverse, it sounds like the multiverse was Warner Brothers' idea first. It wasn't Marvel's. Sound like people claiming it was Warner Brothers' idea first to just do a multiverse. But these big old YouTubers came out talk on Marvel did it first. I say it was DC first
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, DC did it first. They just didn't do it well. That's the problem with them. And Marvel saw what they were doing and sort of copied them and executed
DC
it better.
did like the multiverse on CW. Remember?
Yeah. Well, they still got that sort of going. The Arrow and Flash and Stargirl, all them, it's interconnected. But yeah, I mean, it looks like whoever's even that their TV production side can make connected properties better than their film side. Even their, like I said, even their animated people, they can make something connect. Why can't they need to get those? They need to get those directors and writers and stuff to go into their film direction, their film department, and help them out. That's what I said. The number one thing I would do when Discovery Networks takes over Warner Brothers this next year is do like Marvel has. Marvel has Marvel Studios. It's a separate unit for just Marvel Pictures. It's not for, Kevin Feige ain't going to make a Mary Poppins film. He's not going to make a Jungle Cruise film. He's not going to make Mickey Mouse and Pluto goes to see Frozen. He's just making Marvel films. So, and that's what DC needs to do, their own production studios. It's just DC Studios. And they need to find a Kevin Feige. I know who that will be. They need to find somebody like a Kevin Feige. He's gonna, he or she. That can be a woman. It can be a woman. I ain't gonna say he. Just like he. It could be a she. They could be an excellent woman producer, and he or she take over that production. And they only worry about DC. They're not worried about making. That's probably like now. DC just pretty much run under their film direction. So the same people making The Conjuring or making Bugs Bunny go see Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck movies or anything else, or Matrix or anything else. It's just DC. And it's just like, and they could do just like Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is now was in control of their comics. Is over the animation, the TV side, and the movie side of Marvel. Same thing. Have one person, and they bring in their best people. And if the people in the animation department or the TV side are doing what's the best, you can come in and say, "Hey, you're now not just making TV shows. You're going to be making movies that connect to those TV shows and those animated shows." That's the thing. Now, first, it's like, okay, an anime show's an anime show, a TV show's a TV show, movie's a movie. Today's connection of universes, they all connect, and like they're trying to do. If they don't make a TV show, they'll make an animated show to fill in the gaps or fill in the tie together. That's what they need to do to start making over DC Warner Brothers. They need to make their shows connect right into the movies, and their animated shows connect right into the movies. Because maybe there's a character that you don't want to make a movie about, but you can say, okay, well, we can make a quick 5-series TV show about, and then we can eventually maybe make a movie on it, and it would draw, like a Martian Manhunter movie.
And
I would say like Martian Manhunter. That's okay. Yeah. Some people. I mean, I know who Martian Manhunter. You know who Martian Manhunter. I mean, if you post it up on a theater board right now, say, "Oh, we're making a Martian Manhunter movie," a lot of people be like, "Who the fuck?" They'll be thinking, "Who the fuck is that?" They'll be like,
Unless you watch the CW or something
well,
like
yeah,
that.
let's say see the CW. They'll be like, "Oh, they'll think it's a sequel to that, what's it called?
Yeah.
Mars
The
Attacks."
superhero.
Mars Attacks. They'll be thinking it's a sequel to that or something because they won't know who that. But like that, make a series, Martian Manhunter, the series. It could be a 1 season or 2 season.
Yeah.
And then start putting him in, and then start adding him to the Superman movies, or when they start getting together, Justice League or whatever, and then boom, then you can make a Martian Manhunter movie. Well, I'm just saying, like a character like that, you can start bringing these characters in, and that would be the perfect thing. Start, the CW, the CW Arrowverse, Flashverse, make them connect into the movies and make them animated, but. Like I said, that's our idea. The big wigs doesn't listen to us most of the time, but that would make sense. That would make the most sense.
Yeah. If you look at it right, if Superman 2 come out with Henry Cavill, because they said that because they said the studio and Henry Cavill is talking about contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
that's good news for us as fans because we don't got to worry about a new face coming back and just have to reintroduce that face and stuff like that. The contracts. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, sometimes you got to reboot, but damn it, I hate when you have a character you have to reboot. Like, even goes like the Batman. Goddamn, how many reboots do you make of the same character? I mean, at least I will going back to James Bond. Okay, at least when you have James Bond, you at least have 5 or 6 films of the same one before, like when you had Roger Moore and this, and at least we had 6, 7 movies of the same person. I hate to have one movie. Well, like Ben Affleck, we never had a Batman solo movie with him. We had Batman versus Superman, and we had the Justice League, and that's possibly it. I guess he might be in the Flash movie. I don't know. But
he did his movie, I think they said too. He did his movie too.
Oh, okay. But then you go, how many Batman how many Batman do you need though? I mean, it's
because we all know, right? If they doing like the Arrowverse, just the Arrowverse and puts the antimatter might be just the big bad and stuff like that, like it did in CW. They gotta need all them Batmans and Superman to come back if they do the multiverse, because we know like the antimatter, the Matter Man just wanted to take over. Besides our dark side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that was good.
I mean, really, they need to finish off the Justice League. They need to finish Darkseid. They need to finish it off. I mean, if it's one more movie, finish it. At least finish it off, because I mean, you sort of you left a movie that's incomplete. And
it was the New Gods movie, I think, too. A New Gods movie, I think. They
got canceled. That got canceled. Yeah, they canceled it. Yeah,
I think the director do got something involved. They say they supposed to have something involved. They say the big director over New Gods, because she said she doing something with the studio with the New Gods movie, because they wanted just to start casting, I think, something like that. If they do it, the lady that's over Avon DeRee, because she didn't want to come out the same time that on the Snyder Cut came out. Remember the year the Snyder Cut came out?
Yeah.
Year the New Guy was supposed to start filming and stuff like that and come out, and put Darkseid was already in the movie, and you can't use Darkseid 2 times. I think something like that. Did like contract thing, something like that. You can't use the same character 2 times. I think something like that. At for a certain amount of time, but I'm not sure is that true or not. But
I'm not sure. I heard that got canceled, but they sometimes revive when they could, but
I mean, they've been. It's like the Flash movie. The Flash movie's been supposedly in production for the last 10 years. It's just finally doing it. Black Adam too. You remember? Hell, I've heard The Rock say for the last 5 years he's doing Black Adam. He was going to do Black Adam and want to do Black Adam, and we're finally arguing it. So you never know. It might be delayed and they just got on the back burner until they decide to bring it back in there.
Because they got to find just the right cast, they got to find the right location and stuff like that to film the movie.
Well, and probably when you got to look at too, they've had a really good success lately. I mean, the last 2 or 3 films they've made did really bad. I mean, like Wonder Woman 84 did not make money. Suicide Squad really didn't make a lot of money. I mean,
Suicide Squad was the #1 movie though.
Yeah, but it didn't. Yeah, but if you look at it, the HBO Max thing sort of probably
really hurt it. I mean, but like the ticket sales, it didn't do that very good. I mean, it did worse than Black Widow did. But it's all depending. Like they're waiting for this to see how this Batman. If Batman does really good and is Black Adam the movie does really good, I mean, it will be the worst thing if Batman tanks. If Batman tanks, then there ain't no telling what's going to happen. They're going to be cancellations like crazy. But I don't think it will. But that's what they're waiting to see what's going to happen with Batman and Black Adam. If those two do really good, and then you'll see a lot of stuff released. I mean, I know they're doing the Shazam 2. You got Aquaman 2. There's going to be a third Wonder Woman. I'm hoping the Man of Steel 2, but you never know.
The Man of Steel 2 might be coming after the Wonder Woman 2 movie.
Wonder Woman 3.
After that movie, I think those 2 movies just might come out the same year.
2023 maybe, 2023 or 2024. It's all dependent, and then it's all dependent with this. Like I said, it could be this pandemic. If he's got this new variant. If they shut us all down this Christmas all the way into the January, March, then what's going to happen? Yeah, hopefully they don't. But if it does, then you're gonna see all these movies delayed again, and you may not see Batman till next summer or next fall. And like I said, a lot of these movies we're watching right now are 2 years behind. Yeah, and so it's like a Ghostbusters movie. It was supposed to be released 2 years ago. James Bond film supposed to be released 2 years ago. I mean, so we're watching movies we should have watched 2 years ago right now. So that's like a lot of stuff. And like I said, but you can't. A lot of movies they're holding back, like Top Gun 2, and like they keep trying to hold it and push them back. But you can't have 20 big blockbusters come out at the same time because you'll just cannibalize each other. That's like Jurassic World 3 was supposed to be out this last summer, and they've pushed it back to next summer. Yeah. But if all these movies if that Batman and all them movies get pushed, or Doctor Strange only get pushed to the summer, you'll see that movie get pushed further back because they don't want to have like that many films at one time out, blockbusters. Because they got to make those kind of movies got to make $400 or $500 million plus, or they can't afford to make just $100 million and they'll just bomb. That's just gonna probably just and they won't make another one. Yeah. Zil, how much longer you gonna stream?
Do you think if Halo do good? No. I just better close it down.
Pretty close, yeah. I gotta go get a shower pretty soon. I was just getting home from work when I jumped on with you. I was like, I see it's almost 2:00. Yeah, Halo. What about Halo? Halo movie.
Next, I will be talking about the Halo series next stream and stuff like Halo and Gears of War.
Okay.
What just I will do as a series next stream though. But I'll see y'all later, man. I'll see y'all later stream.
All right, guys. So have a great night. Right. Everybody on there.
All right.
When you stream,
wait a minute.
It's still live.
I was streaming at 11. I was streaming at I was streaming at 10:45 at Saturday.
On Saturday, okay.
At
He's
10
still live. He still got you live. You're still live going. It doesn't want it wants you to keep going. Man. It wants you to it wants you to do a 24-hour stream, man.
Oh man, I can't do that.